In the apocalypse, trusting a stranger is how you die. So, why does Clementine, an 8-year-old girl, open up to Lee almost immediately? The scary part is, it's not just because he's nice. It's because Clementine had already learned something most adults still don't understand. In this world, you don't trust words, you trust actions. Episode 1 begins with Lee, waking up in a world that's already gone. Walkers everywhere, silence, empty streets. And then Lee hears a voice, a child's voice, calling from above. Clementine has been hiding in her treehouse, alone, for who knows how long. No parents, no food, no protection. That's important, because Clementine doesn't meet Lee as a normal child. She meets Lee as a child who has been surviving fear. Here's what I believe most people miss. Clementine doesn't fully trust Lee, at least not immediately. She's careful. She doesn't run up to him. She doesn't open the door right away. She stays high in the treehouse, where she's safe. That treehouse isn't just a cool hiding spot. It's her last wall between life and death. So when she talks to Lee, she's doing something smart. She's testing him. And the first test is simple. Is he dangerous? Lee passes because he doesn't act like a predator. He doesn't demand. He doesn't shout. He doesn't pressure her. He speaks calmly and he listens. And for a child, that matters more than strength. Because Clementine has one thing adults forget. A kid can sense danger. Maybe not perfectly, but enough. And Lee's body language says, I'm scared too, but I'm not here to hurt you. That's why Clementine keeps talking to him. Now, here's where it gets emotional. Clementine didn't choose Lee because he was the best option. She chose Lee because he was the first adult who didn't disappear. Her parents were gone. Her babysitter was dead. The world was silent. And when you're a kid, silence feels like a punishment. So when Lee shows up, Clementine isn't thinking like we would. Can I trust this stranger? She's thinking, am I finally not alone? Well, you could say that's heartbreaking because it means she's not just searching for safety, she's searching for a family. And this is the moment it all becomes real. Clementine eventually climbs down. Not because she suddenly believes Lee is a hero, but because he proves it again. He makes a plan. He checks the house. He protects her from the walker, which was her babysitter. Lee doesn't just survive. He takes responsibility. And in the apocalypse, responsibility is rare. Most people protect themselves. Lee decides to protect Clementine, and Clementine can see that. So this one decision, trusting a stranger, creates the most iconic relationship in the entire Walking Dead universe. Because Lee doesn't just keep Clementine alive, he gives her something else, hope, a reason to keep going. And Clementine gives Lee something also, redemption. Because in the beginning, he isn't a hero, he's a prisoner. But the moment he meets Clementine, he becomes someone completely new. And here's the part that makes everything even more sadder. Clementine didn't trust Lee because she was fearless. She trusted him because she couldn't afford not to. When you're that young and alone, you don't have good options. You only have chances. And Lee was her chance. Not a perfect man, not a guaranteed hero, just someone who stayed. Someone who didn't walk away when things got scary. And that's what makes their bond so powerful. It started with survival. but it became love. So Clementine trusted a stranger, not because she was naive, but because Lee was the first person who made her feel safe in a world that stopped caring. And that's why episode 1 hits so hard.